Grand Traverse County. They do a lot more with the wood chips and stuff. It's a shredded material that we can use at our parks. So as long as it's not a wood chip that has a sharp edge to it. So you can use sand, you can use round stone, you can use shredded bark. So we get that from Deering's Tree Service. The cost for that is 25 yards is $787 for a load. We figured we would have probably between Veronica Valley, Miles Kimberly, and Old Settlers about approximately $5,000. So a lot of that work we can do on our own. We can just have it delivered to the site, and staff, Jordan and the rest of the staff, and we can put it in place. So we're going to save a lot of money doing that.
You still have to do some excavating in those locations.
Minor excavating. There was just a little areas on front and back of some swing sets. So
again, I think that is minimal maintenance repair, not a capital expenditure.
it's just, yeah, this is regular maintenance repair.
All right, Mr. Dyer, we have this first item for you, the possible grant applications, and we are moving forward with the grant application for the yeah, project. I forgot replacing the playground equipment at Miles Kimberly Park.
Yeah, that was a discussion with the grant consultant, and it was her recommendation that would be the project that would score the highest with the DNR. I think it's DNR trust fund, wasn't it? It wasn't. That wasn't.
We were still discussing whether it would be passport or trust fund.
Right, one or the other. But she thought that would score the highest for a number of reasons. She was really directing us, I think, primarily away from trails and parking lots and preparations for trails, things like that. That felt this is a much more tangible project that would, again, score higher. Didn't we last night? We got approval for that, didn't we?
Yes. So just to bring everybody up to speed, if you didn't know, I know the commission has spoken many times about the next project because we've been approved for the Veronica Valley Lower Pond Trail. That, as we've discussed, is a lot of paperwork for not a lot of money, but we're doing it, and it's going to come together. We're going to do it. It's going to be great. And the thought is, how do we keep that momentum and build our credibility and our reputation with the state of Michigan for these grant funds? And we had discussed the next step for Miles Kimberly in staying in line with the 5-year master plan. And we had discussed, as you had discussed as a commission, the potential of pickleball and redoing the parking lot. But it was determined that we would be much better positioned to get grant funding for a complete replacement of the playground at Miles Kimberly and then branch off from there. So the playground would include new grading, similar to the grading that we have to do at the Lower Pond Trail, so that it is easily accessible, moms in strollers, kids using crutches, easy to get to the restroom, easy to get to the parking lot, no barriers. And then branch it out from there if we wanted to connect it to trails, connect it to the rest of the park. So that was moved through and approved by the Board of Commissioners last night. Our finance director is working on initiating that grant with my grants as we speak, so that Tiffany can start populating and dropping documents into my grants. We have a pretty tight turnaround, so this is going to be on the agenda probably every month, because we have, if you remember from the Veronica Valley process, we will have notices of hearings, public hearings, input, comments. There's going to be a lot of paperwork coming through at the administration office. in anticipation of submitting this grant by April. So we're gonna be hustling hard, getting all of the legal descriptions and documents and deeds and everything loaded into my grants for submission for this in April. And we anticipate, again, asking for a 50% reimbursable. Our ask will be about 100,000.
This is in the master plan for 2028's funding, where we had it.
And that is,
The lesson learned from Veronica Valley is it'll take us that long to go through the grant process and whatnot.
so we will, right, so we will take all of 26 to get the approval, hopefully. 27 will be, us getting the drawings and RFPs out, with construction in 28.
And
Looking into the future.
another conversation we had, and I think this is something that, eventually we'll work towards, but the board also did approve the contract to have Tiffany administer the Veronica Valley grant, essentially administer it for us. And what we're hoping we can do is parlay that into a relationship with her, where instead of, you guys getting ideas on what you think you would like to pursue with grant funding, bring her here at the beginning of the process, have her actually give you advice on what she thinks is based upon her experience with the grant cycles and her past involvement with the DNR, to give us recommendations on which of the projects you're going to score the highest that she thinks is more likely you'll actually get money for. So instead of, this time we kind of got ahead of ourselves almost with getting the board approving that contract, because it was on your list of things to do, but not your top priority really. But we in a meeting that we had shortly before I went into the hospital up in Petoskey, actually, that was the same day actually, as I was driving my car up to Petoskey, we decided that we would kind of shift towards that position, because an April grant cycle was going to be really hard to meet if we didn't make a decision right away and get board approval at our meeting last night. So if you think we got ahead of ourselves, that's really the reason. And we were kind of hoping to plead for forgiveness rather than permission. So.
And if you as a commission can keep this in mind and start having discussions end of summer, early in the fall, that will give everybody enough time to determine the next project, and have time to really develop it and present it to the BOC, get it approved if we need to contract those services out, and because Tiffany was saying that she has clients coming to her in September, October going, what's the next thing? What's the next project? So for you as a commission to keep that on your radar, to start talking about the next cycle significantly earlier than what we have been discussing it.
Yeah.
Right. Any questions on that subject? Okay, we're on down to the item for holding meetings at the county parks. Alan, that was your suggestion. We did once have a meeting where we were holding the meeting at Old Settlers. It was like a park tour early in the season and to decide what maintenance items needed to be done. But the way we ended up doing is we convened the meeting, adjourned the meeting to go to the park, did the tour and everything at the park, returned to the county building, reconvened the meeting, and then had our discussion, our public discussions here at the county building. Now, I don't know exactly what the process would be if we can do it some other way, but that's what we had to do in the past. to stay legal.
As mentioned, I think by Mr. Dyer, I can't remember anyway, that we would not be able to stream, maybe that was, someone brought that up. How many people watch, or any clue on our Parks Committee?
Let me tell you how many people are watching.
There you go, as we speak.
I don't think you're required to live stream your
You're not.
meetings.
I just wondered.
You
who-
do it as a courtesy
Okay.
because we have the capability to do it from this room.
Sure,
If you can have a meeting at a park,
sure.
but if it's an official meeting, you need to arrange for someone to have a way to take minutes, if not to record it or take notes, just to make sure that you are in compliance, it's properly noticed and that you are complying with the requirements to take minutes.
How much of a previous notice do we have to put out, like 2 months in advance or no?
No,
No, just 18
hours.
hours, basically.
I mean, if we wanted to hold the March meeting at one of the parks, we could decide that.
You could,
Or if you wanted to wait until it's a little warmer in April.
Yeah.
if you're going to do that, though, I might suggest what you do is really modify the nature of the agenda that you're going to have. That the agenda would really be more of a review of the park and that sort of thing, and maybe some housekeeping issues, but you're not going to want to have a heavy debate on a subject that, or decide the grants you want to pursue or something like that at a meeting where it'll be probably more difficult to take minutes and keep things business-like and orderly, but it's still possible.
And you might decide, once we stake out the trail, that you want to go walk the staked out trail and visualize it. We can notice it and post it that this particular meeting will be a walking meeting. Or it can be just a notice of quorum with no business to be discussed. That's your decision.
I'm a little uncomfortable with having a regular meeting at the parks. I think it's a good idea for us to go there, but I would rather have something like an open house or something like that instead of having it being a meeting where people could just come in and talk to us one-on-one or whatever, but a rather informal thing where we could address what we've done with the parks, what our master plan is, that kind of thing. But I think, this kind of a meeting, I'm not really comfortable doing that out in the park. And I also think, this goes on YouTube, right? And that means that if we go out to the park and we're not filming it, people aren't going to have the opportunity. I mean, I don't know if you show statistics on when people see it on YouTube, but I quite often I'll go back through the history and I'll watch YouTubes on prior meetings that I couldn't make at the time.
I mean, an informational meeting, not a business meeting.
Right.
At a park.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine.
Right.
If we're gonna have the monthly business meeting where we
It should
make
be
these
here.
decisions, it should be here. If we wanna have a meeting in the park, we just have it informal. And really, each one of those park things, we could have our committee meetings there and deal with what's going on with our committee at the park.
And your committees take your own minutes, so that would.
Committees take your own minutes, so that'd be easy, and that's not streamed at all,
Right.
so.
So we just possibly broadcast, I mean, it's already posted, the individual committee meetings are posted and whatnot. But is there some way to make them more advertised that they're going to be in as a tour of the park or, looking for public input or whatnot at the committee meeting? You might want to pursue something like that. Where in the individual committees host a meeting at their park.
Well, I could just say, my vision was that it was a combination, that you would have a meeting, and as part of the meeting, you would inform stakeholders, encourage them to be a part of the discussion for that particular park. I look now at our extended audience, and I and I review the audiences that we normally have for these meetings. And I looked at it as a way to actually improve communication with our stakeholders, as a way to pull back from communication.
I mean, that.
That's how I envisioned it, and then I envisioned it. I'm just one person here, I like discussing things, but then you would set, say, June for Old Settlers, and you'd set August, and you'd set September. We could set up, if, in a couple places, like for instance, at Old Settlers, we could record the meeting like we do at, when we have a closed session, we have a machine that we can set in the middle, and the meeting's recorded, and then the clerk can take the minutes from that recording. I guess you post the recording if you wanted to. So I don't think the minutes are necessarily a drawback to it. I understand that it's a break from protocol, that it's not as formalized, and that can, I understand your point, Kathy, that can cause problems. So it's a weighing of the benefits and the not. I personally like the idea, that's why I brought it up. I say one vote. I mean, we could make a motion and just put it to bed and say, okay, either we want to or not, and I walk away with that just fine.
Well,
Meet to pour the fish in.
Huh?
You can meet to pour the fish in the pot.
Our master plan does have a focus and an objective of increased volunteering and whatnot at the parks, and that obviously would involve communications and advertising and that kind of stuff to get the thing going. And this would fall right in line with that.
You make it a picnic, people will show up.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
and so what I
Hold the
think
beer.
is like do a weekend thing, Saturday or Sunday or at night because we've got in the summer. I mean, you could do, for instance, June could be Miles Kimberly, and on Saturday, June whatever, from 1 to 3 or something, we'll have a picnic, and the Parks and Rec commission, whatever we're called, will be there for meet and greet, just really informal. And then, July would be the other park, and then August would be the other park. I just going off your idea, Alan, I just think that the business, now correct me because this is my first year, but I think that we need to continue conducting our business instead of, here rather than there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I like the idea of going out there and meeting with people, and I like the picnic idea. That food always brings people out. And we could even have games, things like that. I mean, bring in other organizations or,
Get to.
Jordan, did you want to say something or, oh, okay.
No. Doing that, then I make the motion that we hold all business meetings as we do now here at the courthouse. And we can have individual, well, that's my motion, we'll hold all our business meetings here. Then we can have discussion on what we do with our committees when we're in our committee. That's my motion from 1 second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, the committees could plan for their park. They could plan what they want to do for their park. How does our budget though look for
I was just
doing?
gonna say, it's gonna cost money to do.
It will
to-
cost money, so that's the question. How does our budget work? Or can we find people who would help host it with us? I don't know, there's all sorts of possibilities. I think it's a great idea. I mean, let's get people out there and meet with us.
Motion on the floor.
So there's a motion. You have further discussion? On the motion that we will hold all business meetings here at the government center. Motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed?
May I amend the motion?
No, it's too late.
Oh, okay. Well, then may I make another motion?
Yes.
Okay, my motion would be that, each committee picks a date of when they would like to, out of the three committees, that they would pick the date to do, an informal picnic at their park, and they would be responsible for setting things up.
About an informal event.
Informal
Don't
event.
define it as a picnic.
Okay, that's even better yet. Okay, so my motion would be that each committee is responsible for an informal event at their park.
My park already has one. Old Settlers already has one.
That's what I mean. We have the annual picnic on
Yeah.
first Saturday, Sunday of August.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
They've
for,
got, they've
but
got
that's
kids
different.
fishing day. and-
Yeah. it's to
yeah, but
celebrate
those
the
are all
park.
different. This is from us, not from another group.
You were just saying you would want to combine it with another group to host it to get people to attend. So that's
Oh,
our
okay.
best idea.
All right. Oh, there you go.
So leave it up to the committee.
Right, how they want to handle it.
Right, okay.
Good. Okay, do I need to restate it, or do you got it, Lauren?
I got it.
Thank you.
Do I have a second for that motion?
Support.
Support from Mr. Walters. Any discussion?
Yes, so is the motion that it's mandatory for the park committees to have a event?
Well, if you've already got an event, the way you would handle that is the committee members show up at the event, maybe set up a table, introduce themselves to the public when they come, and discuss what the public wants to do in the future at these parks. What does the public want? Just an outreach to the public with all the committee members there for the event that's going on. It's already previously scheduled at that.
And, you know, to coordinate that with the people who already are doing that event, to let them know that you would like to have us come in with a booth or whatever, and to talk about what we do for our parks. No, yes?
You're gonna vote yes or no, doesn't matter. We got a motion on the floor.
I know, but we're discussing it, right?
But, seriously, I mean, if we're having an event, we all should be there anyway, committee members at that park. So if you set up a table and you're just standing at the table and people come and talk to you, that's outreach. And that's what we're looking at. And outreach means support ideas.
Got a list of people who would like to volunteer.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
That's what I thought, yeah. Friends list.
Any further discussion?
My thought is that rather than coming from the top down, that committees should be left with that responsibility. If they feel they need this board's approval, they can organize their event and come to this board and get it approved. Or you can always just set a table up anytime you want to in the summer and do that. I just don't like to dictate from here down to committees further responsibility when they may not appreciate that.
But you're saying that the committees would just be attending?
Well, the motion reads, committees shall be responsible to do this.
Yeah.
So I back off of that.
So I will call the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
3-4.
Voting?
I voted yes,
You
yes,
voted aye
Aye.
for the motion.
for the motion,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
1, 2, 3,
4-3.
4.
Or vote yes, 3 vote no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eight people,
There's 8, so
must be 5 to 3.
Oh, I don't know what you voted.
I voted no.
Oh, you
Okay,
voted no.
okay, so it's 4-4. So the motion failed. Let's
Motion
move
failed.
on.
Move on.
Let's move on.
I would just say, if there's gonna be more than 2 of you, you need to let us know so that we can post a notice of potential quorum.
And if you're gonna seek any funding for it, you'll need to know that in advance and approve that. I assume there's a dollar limit to.
I don't know how that would work.
20 cents. All right.
So fit.
2% applications, it was a late agenda item. I think the Veronica Valley Park Committee. Who wants to
Go ahead and speak on that, Alan.
Well, I'm sorry that it just getting here. There is a mistake in there. It's a 20 by 40 structure rather than a 20 by 30. And honestly, I think that not just this body, but a lot of bodies in Leelanau County are leaving a lot of money on the table with these 2%. And the band truthfully wants to fund events here in Leelanau County. I think that this gazebo has a very good chance of getting more money than I thought originally, because I've gotten to observe the process and frankly, been pretty successful with a couple grants to the VFW post. And one of them was solicited by a tribal member who called me when I was in my tree stand and said, how come you guys aren't applying for more money? I don't have enough grants requests from Leelanau County. The Kids Fishing Day is supported by the band, and they do contribute. Last year they contributed $2,000. I talked to their natural resources director. He'll write a letter of support. I just think that they have an associate, and I got a picture of their tribal, the natural resources director with his kid fishing. I think we get more money than I thought was possible, just because I've gotten to know the system more. And I think it's a heck of a lot easier applying for a 2% grant than going through all of the state efforts. It's worth going through for small amounts of money for the 2%. You still have to follow through. It's county policy you have to follow. And that's why this is kind of brought at the last minute here. The deadline really did sneak up, as in we have to have this to the county board at our next meeting on the agenda for it. If filling out the grant isn't any problem, I mean, I can do that, but I don't want to do things that this beyond my scope as a member of this commission. So anyways.
Do I have a motion to bring forth?
Looking for a motion to support a 2% grant to build a pavilion at Veronica Valley.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, when, Keith, when you did the research on the structure, did you also work with the facility division on that?
No, I was just investigating costs.
Okay,
There's no company here in this area that has actually built kits for something like this. You have to go out state. So everybody I contacted, it's come pretty much the same cost delivered. But I've been trying to contact builders to actually, for them to buy the materials and build it themselves. But I'm having a really hard time this time of year talking to a builder.
Well, that'll be the process.
And I might add, I did have a conversation just this morning with Dennis Grant. And of course, the Grant family is the original stakeholders of that property. And he verified the estimate that we had come up with. He said between 5 and 10%. And honestly, I'd be shocked if we don't get a much better deal than that from the guy who used to sling hot dogs at kids' fishing day. I mean, this really means something to that grant family.
This is a project that's in our 5-year plan. I think it's in the project, it's in the plan for 2027. But obviously we get money that somebody's gonna fund it, we can do it anytime we want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should find out, BAM has anything in their park and rec plan that would help. I mean, maybe they cooperate.
Well, maybe they'll write a letter and help us.
Definitely they'll write a
Yeah.
letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herman Park's got a nice pavilion. Is that, I guess my question, Mr. Dyer, is this something that the facilities division should be brought into, or is this something that we would?
We'll be involved in it.
We'll be-
Okay, all right, okay, that was my concern.
Okay, that's-
When the time comes.
Okay.
And I can say this fits right into, I think, the county board's desire to improve the relationship with the Nottawasepi, or, excuse me, the Grand Traverse Band.
Right.
My mind's down in Calhoun County.
Wrong county. Yeah.
And wrong,
But I
wrong
mean-
nation, actually.
Grand Traverse Band. And we did that by taking the unique step of doing a thank you letter to them that was signed by all 7 commissioners last night. Basically praising them and encouraging them to cooperate more with us. And we're going to make sure that we don't commit the faux pas of not showing up to the award ceremony when they conduct that at the Grand Traverse Resort. We made a mess of it this year. We're not going to do it next time.
Well, we could do like a plaque too,
So-
if we get a grant from them.
Absolutely.
So,
So we had a motion on the floor.
yes, we have a motion on the floor that we will support a Veronica Valley submission of a 2% application grant application for this cycle for the pavilion at Veronica Valley Park. That's the motion? Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Man, it feels good to vote yes.
Well, maybe, we'll think about it. So you're gonna take care of that grant, Al, you're taking care of that grant application process?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll do that.
just to verify. All right.
All right, next item on the agenda is the Miles Kimberly Park, tennis court resurfacing, Lois,
Yes,
in Jim's absence.
we listened to how much need there is for more pickleball courts and look at the 2 tennis courts that are there that need resurfacing. And why not resurface both of them, but one stays lined as a tennis court and then 2 pickleball courts go on the other as a better bang for our buck and find out if we're right or not. We really need a lot more. Jim was out talking to people playing pickleball around the area, and that was what he found out. So, a smaller investment, but a improvement on the facility that we own.
Yeah, that in form of motion.
I would like you, if we have a motion for going ahead with this project, it's assuming an estimated amount of 15,000. And we obviously need to put together an RFP when we're gonna spend that kind of money. Right? Even whether it's expensive or capital, because I'm not sure which one this falls under.
Well,
Again,
that would definitely be a capital expense. You're creating something new.
so Lois, you want to make a motion?
You said it, so yeah, I'll make the motion for Charlie's suggestion there.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second by Mr. Walter. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anything else from Veronica, from Miles Kimberly Park? I'm talking about.
We should coordinate with the Poor Farm Bar and see if they have a event scheduled for next summer. That's something I can make a phone call on and find out.
Any further word on changing the lease agreement with the barn?
Just we had board approval to proceed with that. We have board approval to proceed with that. We just need to get with they're not particularly active at the moment and we'll get that taken care of shortly.
All right, Old Settlers Committee. We got repair of the stairs, which I think we know we don't have an estimate for. So I think we'll just move that to a future meeting.
Just so to be clear, the stairs are not broken. They're not in disrepair. They're not unsafe. This was, I think this is just a way that they wanted to improve those stairs. So you have functioning stairs going down to the water, going down to the dock. So there's nothing broken, there's nothing rotten. So those stairs are in functioning order. So what they want, I think, was kind of Pat's master plan was to do a stairs, a deck, stairs, and a deck.
Yeah, that was assuming an ultimate replacement of the stairs is gonna be.
Exactly.
required.
So, but you have functioning working stairs.
That's doing nothing in 2026 is still an option.
It's an option. Yes, it is.
What about power washing and staining? Those would be maintenance items, but
Power washing we can do. We don't want to stain because of the monkey flowers, so we don't use any chemicals or anything, but we can power wash them to keep the mold and, put some slip tape down. So, but no chemicals.
Same
So
thing
that's
with the
something that
monkey
Jordan
flower.
has done in the past.
Replace the basketball backboard and rim. I don't know if you've looked at it.
Yeah, we've completed, we haven't done the work. I went to Ace Welding and got some metal fabricated with some holes that we can put into the pole. We can bring it down, reattach the backboard. We have a rim net. So we basically have the materials. We're just waiting for the weather in the spring and that will be completed. So that was a minimal cost of about $50.
Anything else for Full Settlers?
do you want to talk about the gazebo roof being?
The gazebo roof is done. Loon Roofing completed the work. They went through, they worked through this winter to get it done. Blake and his team did a fantastic job. It looks great. There's minor, he's very meticulous on his work. So he's just got a few nails he doesn't like seeing, so he's gonna touch those up. But that work is completed, and then when the water is turned on, we'll get Novak painting down there. We'll power wash it, paint it. It'll look great. We have a plan to do some vegetation around the gazebo, because some of that stuff is tired. So I know irrigation, so I'm gonna put in some trickle drip and get some plants, and it'll look nice. It's really gonna look sharp.
The Glen Lake Women's Group doesn't take care of around the gazebo.
They do mostly the church.
Okay.
So, but this is just something I'm gonna do.
The field in the park.
So, I know irrigation back and forth, so it's easy enough for me to go down there and do it.
Anything else?
A question about the chapel. Is the chapel supposed to be open or closed?
It's under the control of the Glen Lake Women's Group. If you want to schedule an event for the chapel, you can contact them. They charge a fee for cleaning and whatnot. It's paid directly to them. It doesn't come through the county. It's normally locked and they control it. That's correct, right?
Yes.
That's my understanding.
I just happened to stop there one day and it was open.
Okay.
So I was wondering, that's all.
It's supposed to be locked unless there's somebody there or an event scheduled.
Okay.
Does somebody check it after events to make sure that?
Yeah, they go back in and they do a cleaning and
I'm sorry.
make sure everything is,
Okay.
is up to snuff, and then they lock it back up.
Yeah, okay.
Veronic Valley Park, anything, any of the items that I've got listed here? And moving ahead on the repair of the washout by the pillars.
That's gonna be done by us. So Jordan and myself and the rest of the team, we have materials for that. So we're gonna do it in-house. We're just gonna get some treated lumber that we're gonna put in place. At the end of the bridge where the washout, we have stone left over from when we took the stone off the roof of the jail, so that's down there. So we're gonna use that materials. We're gonna put in some 6x6 womanized, and we should get that project done for about $300.
Nice.
It's being done in such a way that we won't be worrying about the washing out.
No, we'll take care of it. It'll be fixed.
Then we had remedying the gaps in the bridge decking.
That I did some research on that and the gaps, I'm not the floor, the deck, but the sides. It's anywhere from 3 to 6 inches. So that's your railing gaps that you can get, that's allowed. So we're at 5 inches on 2 of our bridges, and the main bridge over the pond is at 5.5. So we're within the legal limits.
So this wasn't a finding of the MMRMA, was it?
I'm sure they did their research, and I'm sure they went with the higher or the lower end of it. And the information that I have, and I can share that with the group, is we're well within the guidelines. So the guideline says 3 inches to 6 inches. We're at 5. So we're in.
Can we inform MMRA then, or rather than, or do they know?
I think that's a guide, that was just a suggestion that was given to
Yeah,
us.
they
that
don't-
it's
It's not
a
something that
rule.
they impose on us.
Right.
They don't, they do risk management evaluations, and we're permitted to accept or reject those as we see fit. We're not bound by them in any way. It doesn't impact our insurance coverage.
I just thought if you let them know, then it doesn't come back the next year,
Yeah,
and
Sure.
the next year, and the next year.
I can get those documents and get them to Lauren, and
Sure.
we can do that.
just get them to me.
I'll get them to you.
Following up on bench donation procedure and form.
I do have a form and a draft of a procedure. The form is very similar to what we use for Veterans Memorial. There are a couple of information items that will need to be filled in by finance as far as the account numbers, and this will need to go in front of the Board of Commissioners. What I need to present something very clear and accurate is the total number of benches that, what we're asking for is a blanket approval. So if you're doing 8 benches, then we need to be able to present that to the Board of Commissioners so that we don't have to do it every single time someone buys a bench. And I need a real firm estimate. We had talked about, I think, $1,300.
$1,300 is what they gave us.
So we're in details at this point. So when you're ready, we can put it on an agenda to say we would like to place these 8 benches at this location. And then we would be able to accept that money. It's more dollars than I'm gonna have another conversation with the administrator and the finance director just to make sure that we're within guidelines. Other departments accept donations, but we need to make sure that we present this as accurately as possible.
Honestly, we were ready to go, and we had we didn't want to put undue strain on the finance department at that particular moment, because as soon as it's approved, there's some folks who would like to donate, and so they have a lot of people in Florida, the smart ones, and we're here, but we thought rather than try to push it, let's just wait until finance department's a little bit more settled, and it's not that big a deal.
We're not gonna do it till spring anyway.
Yeah, so that's why we didn't.
So, but
put it
what,
over the-
Let me know which agenda you want the item on for approval of the procedure or review of the procedure and moving forward with the bench donations.
I think we ought to contact the fellow, it was Chuck, that has the benches and make sure, because he mentioned something, checking with him in the spring just to make sure on the price. Because of possible increase, material increase.
We were kind of under the 1,300, but we chose 1,300 just to absorb any short increases. But I think we've come up with like 9 spots for benches. And I don't know if they require an actual detailed placement or just a lot 9 benches, and we can decide as a committee.
We had 9 spots that
Yeah.
that we really, I mean, we're ready to go. I don't want to burden you guys with everything, and Kathy would be glad to fill you in. This has been going on for a year.
I trust you guys, 9 benches for 13. Got it.
So anyways, we're ready to go, and I think now the finance department will have, we set what needed an account that was ready to go, and it just wasn't worth pushing through. That's why this thing,
Okay.
Let me know when you want to put it on the agenda.
probably be next month, but
Yeah, let's go for next month.
In regards to your question, do we need, or the Veronica Valley Committee, do they need to denote where this bench will go? Or just that 9 benches to the park?
Yeah, I think we'll just do the 9 benches to the park and then.
rather than sell the individual, I mean, we need to know where they go, but we aren't gonna say, we're gonna put your bench here.
Yeah, we want them to have somewhere to say.
And
Yeah,
that's
why?
usually the case, people.
I mean, are you planning to do all 9 at once, or are you gonna do it?
As we get requests for them and they pay for them, then the bench will be placed.
Okay, you're not gonna pre-place pads.
No, the pad will be poured the day or the pad will be poured when they put the bench there. It won't be pre-paid.
And I think we've worked it out and discussed, we're not gonna require you, because we have one, to come out and do it. Maybe we'll do it in 3s. That was a number that was suggested. When we have 3, you can come out and be more efficient in what you do. Rather than send a crew out Monday and then 3 weeks later, send another crew out. So we've talked through some of these parameters.
The last item on for Veronica Valley is anything more we need from this commission about the path?
No, we're waiting, we're waiting.
Well, the next step is the survey has to be done,
Yep,
which is when the snow clears, I guess.
So we have approvals for that.
I have to leave.
All
I
right,
have another meeting I gotta be at, but,
and we'll just note that Mr. Walters left the meeting at 4:08.
all right, have a good day.
Bye-bye.
We do need to, if you can fill us in on the fish conversation we had, the fish structures and what's going on there.
Trees.
Yeah, we had a discussion, Al and Keith and Jordan and Heather.
Yes.
Yeah, so we met out in Veronica Valley and some fish habitat at the main fishing pond. We had an opportunity with the weather. Jordan and I went out, there was one big tree that was, you approved the drop into the pond. So we did that, dropped it right into the pond. So that's a turtle structure and fish habitat, and we found some structures on the property. We drug them out on the ice in certain different locations. Got sandbags and tied them to them. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
We did 6 on the ice. So that, so we feel that we're gonna have some good fish habitat for the next fishing day. We put it in areas where hopefully they don't cast into and hook their lines. And in the spring, when we do, when the weather's better, we're gonna dig some trenches and lay some branches in, some tree structures in some of the upper pond area for turtle and ducks. So we got a good start on that project.
Any current in those ponds?
Any pardon?
Any current in those ponds, which is gonna take the thing off?
We sandbagged.
Where you set it on the ice?
Oh, no. So we tied sandbags to them. So when they drop in, they'll stay in place.
Okay.
So
What kind of turtles do we get?
we got snapping turtles out there and we've got painting turtles.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
And we used, as burlap bags like they do in Lake Leelanau when they're placing their, they're trying to get rid of the EWD and milfoil anyways. And so that eventually they go away.
Mhm.
I gotta say, I'm very impressed because I know you guys have a busy schedule. And it's not like I woke up every morning and said, geez, I wonder if they're out there today.
we picked, yeah, we had a good weather day, so
Last Wednesday.
Jordan said, I don't
Rest of
think,
the ice, we didn't
yeah,
break through the ice.
we didn't go through the ice, no, it was, no, we're okay.
And it wasn't just you, it was some equipment dragging those.
We had chainsaws and, yeah, so we, I think you'd be pleased.
Why, thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's great.
Anything else from Veronica Valley? Okay. We'll move back to public comment, if any of the public wants to make a comment, Jordan. Staff comment at this point, either of you, okay? Commissioner comments? Yes, Katie.
Do we hold separate meetings then to choose the chairperson of each individual park committee?
Correct.
Okay, so that would be next month, we would then choose our,
Whatever you want to do, schedule the meeting.
okay.
Any other commissioner comments?
Those are lifelong appointments, right? Isn't that-
Committees?
Yes.
So I gave you a chance to opt out of your committee to go to a different one, but.
You
Okay.
might want to be careful when you say lifelong.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, the older you get, that doesn't mean very much, does it?
Well, thank you. I do, I thank you for electing me chair again. I am willing to do it for this year. See, if next year will be my last year, so you may not want me as chair for that year. Anyway, the other thing is I saw a piece of legislation before the State House where they're going to make it optional for counties to have only 7-person park and rec commissions as opposed to 10. And 3 of the members could also be Board of Commissioners members with a required road commission, planning commission, and drain commissioner on there, which means that if you went that route, there'd only be 1 at-large citizen member on the commission. So that would not be my recommendation, but we'll see where that piece of legislation goes.
I saw that and I couldn't understand the politics.
Yeah, why?
It's gotta be something local, somebody upset somebody or something.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had an extreme amount of difficulty getting people to serve on this committee, so.
So, I'm
Maybe it's
sorry,
a county that does.
you said that's a House bill?
It's a House bill.
Do you know the number?
None, not offhand. I have to go home.
Okay, so it'd be a House bill that handles the amount of folks on the Parks and Rec.
Commission.
Okay, I'll get a hold of our Betsy and have her check it.
I recall it's an optional provision.
Yeah, it was an optional thing.
It's
for
not
counties to
mandatory.
do.
Oh, it's not gonna be
Wasn't gonna be
mandatory.
mandatory.
Oh, so we don't really care then. All right, I'm sorry, I did not understand
Well,
that.
if you find out the politics, let me know, because I can't unravel that one. I know.
We used to be able to tell if it said in a county, in a municipality exceeding 1 million in population. You used to be able, that was always the city of Detroit.
Yeah,
And then there'd be a couple where you'd say, between this population and that population, and that, that's who wants to do it. How's Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, who wants it to happen? You can tell by the requirements.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Yeah.
Thanks for, I gotta say and I'm not just crediting you, but I am giving you credit that, we do a lot more things than has been done. And I think we've got our eye on projects and, it's good to see.
I'm excited. I'm glad I was.